Hey everyone, I know I haven't posted anything in a while, but LHSAA playoffs, they're here. You know, I'll I'll catch up on other stuff, big news that's happened since I last posted in another post, but for now, this is going to be a long video and it's because I'm going through first of all the divisions from 4, which is the 1A equivalent, to 1, which is the 5A equivalent, then the public school classes. And I'm saving 5A for last because that's wide open. That's going to be the trickiest one to pick. But anyway, let's get started. For a 1v16 game, Washita Christian and Cedar Creek is going to be a pretty good game. I mean, these two already played each other. It was a 33-22 game, but in the end, I think Washita Christian wins again. I mean, they're the home team. And Cedar Creek, they're no slouch. They play good defense, but I don't see Washita Christian losing that game in the playoffs. Okay, up next, Central Catholic and Central Catholic. This is a tough one because Central Catholic's been dealing with a few suspensions. I'm not sure if those players come back. Central Catholic is coming off of a tough district championship game against Vermilion Catholic. I mean, they played each other week 10. They were both unbeaten in district. It's basically a district championship game. But as for who I'm going to pick in this first round matchup, I am kind of 50-50. We'll come back to this one soon. Sacred Heart and St. Ed's. For me, I mean, this is another game where they played each other earlier this year, and Sacred Heart won pretty easily. I'm taking them again. I'm trying not to take too much time. Okay, Calvary and Hamilton. See, if Hamilton had drawn someone else, like if they'd drawn Opelousas Catholic, they might have had a chance. They're not beating Calvary Baptist. This is another one I'm going to come back to later because that could be an interesting game. Catholic of Point Coupee and Vermilion Catholic. Catholic of Point Coupee, they're kind of young. They've lost some players, but they've gotten better as the season's gone along. Same can be said for Vermilion Catholic, but the level that Vermilion Catholic's playing at in comparison just cannot be ignored. I think they move on by like 2 or 3 touchdowns. This is another game this is the last one of the games that I'm gonna save for later. This one, that's gonna be a good matchup. Okay. Southern Lab and Hanson. Southern Lab, easy. Like, a team like Southern Lab is going to be able to punch Hanson in the face on the line, and they're not going to respond well. Okay, now, again, I'll pick this one later. Washita Christian over either, to be honest. I mean, probably by about a couple touchdowns each, but over either. This one, Calvary Baptist, easy. Especially considering that Sacred Heart has to travel, but even if Calvary was traveling, it's still easy. This one, I will come back to all this later. Here, I'm taking Southern Lab over either because St. Mary's and Country Day, they're both fast teams. Southern Lab has the speed to keep up, and they have the physicality that neither of those teams have. Okay, this one I'm coming to later. Okay, let's go back. First of all, Opelousas Catholic and St. Fred's. Both of these teams are teams that are going to run the ball, play good defense, and they both have some good wins on the season. Alphas Catholic at 9-1 and district champs. St. Frederick, they're 7-3, and they played in probably the toughest district in 1A, but I'm picking my first seeding upset here. St. Fred's moves on to the next round. It's going to be about a touchdown either way. St. Mary's and Country Day, these are both teams that, just have, they have speed. St. Mary's has a good quarterback. Now, Country Day won their district. St. Mary's didn't. It's a long drive, but I'll take Country Day to win this one. Because, yes, while St. Mary's has the better quarterback, Country Day, they played the number, what was it? Yeah, the number 5 seed in Division 3. They played them to a 1-touchdown game. Lastly, and before I think I've made a decision on this one, here, I think Vermilion Catholic wins close. And so, they get a semifinals trip. Up here, I'm going to go Ascension Catholic. Both of these teams lost to 6 seed Vermilion Catholic, but even if Ascension Catholic has their players out, they still have a really good quarterback. They're still probably going to be able to run the ball, and it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I'll give Ascension Catholic the edge, mainly due to quarterback play. Okay, now we got the semifinals. First, I'll go to this one. Southern Lab, because again, they have the speed, and, they'll have the speed and the physicality to match up with them. Now, this game, these teams, first of all, they're going to actually have a certain level of play to match Southern Lab for once. But it's not a far drive for either, and both these teams have won state titles recently, but I gotta go with Calvary Baptist here, because Ouachita Christian just graduated their quarterback from last year, and while they still have a really good team, that experience at the most important position on the field is going to make all the difference. This could be wrong, but I can live with being wrong on this one. Finally, Calvary Baptist and Southern Lab. Now, they met last postseason and Calvary Baptist won 24-14. I think these teams are even more closely matched this year than last year. Calvary Baptist did lose a few players. Southern Lab, they have speed, they have physicality, but they do this weird thing against relatively equal competition where they'll routinely get outcoached. Routinely. Or they'll get a big lead and then allow the other team to get back in. In the first example, see the Dunham game. In the second example, see Madison Prep. I can't think that's not going to happen this postseason. Ever since they replaced the last coach, it just, like clockwork, Happens again and again. It's like that movie Groundhog Day. So I'm going to pick Calvary Baptist to be your Division 4 state champs. And seeing how long this video went, I'm going to chop this up into 9 parts because this is already too long.